Moving on, shall we? Let's actually move on to a video. What the hell is going on with Ubisoft? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? Do you guys want to actually watch this by any chance with me? Anybody want to actually talk about Ubisoft? Hey, everybody? Anybody? Anybody? Everybody, you cool with that? I'm going to be a little bit. I don't know. I'm a bit picky when it comes to like all Ubisoft. Actually, not really. I've never played any of Ubisoft's games lately. Go Ubisoft, go for it. Ubisoft, yeah, it Ubisoft for sure. All right, let's try this.
Ubisoft used to be the name in
Okay.
open world games. For
Yeah.
better or for worse, they perfected the climb a tower, reveal the map, rinse and repeat
Yeah.
formula that dominated the 2010s. I mean, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah. Back then when Ubisoft make really good games, they were the top of the lines. I could not actually even I could not even deny it. I remember that. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, that was like one of the pinnacle Assassin's Creed games that I could actually seen, bro.
Considered to be one of the most influential games in the modern era, is downstream of that formula. Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, they weren't just franchise.
Watchdog was not included in my opinion. I don't think Watchdog really does well, but Watchdog is a very unique open world game. But Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, those two games I can agree on that are actually revolutionary. Rainbow Six Siege, not sure. What's their most sold game? Black Flag, don't you mean Better Skull and Bones? What do you mean? There's no such thing as Skull and Bones. What do you mean by that? That's only Black Flag. That game never exists. Also, what do you mean by sold games, right? Their most sold games, I don't know. I have no idea. It's probably Rainbow Six Siege because the game is actually getting more and more bigger. And I think, I don't know. I really don't know. Oh yeah, they also have another. Oh my god! There's also another game where I think Ubisoft actually did so well, but it didn't actually talk about it. There's another game called For Honor. For Honor. Does anybody know the game called For Honor? That game was actually really good. That game had a lot of potential, but Ubisoft never actually tried to bloom the wings with that formula. There's only one game, and that's just For Honor. Anybody know the game or not? Apparently, it's Valhalla with 150 million copies sold and billion revenue. Damn, I never knew about that. Familiar? So here's the thing: For Honor has like one of the few unique games. Technically, it's like a fighting game, but in a more of a medieval, and you use the weapons more. I know For Honor. It's one of those games that is just really good. So like, can you imagine you have a character that you can use as a samurai, and then you want to actually fight against a player who uses a Viking? It's kind of like the new God of War, kind of like the new God of War. But before we got a new the God of War, we have For Honor. For Honor was really good. Before For Honor is technically like Overwatch, but in more medieval and also hack and slash kind of game. It's really good. He has a very good high skill ceiling, but the thing is that you guys don't even know what the hell you guys even talk about or know much about the game. Because I've seen the game multiple times, but the game had so much potential, but the Ubisoft never actually tried to bloom its wings for it. You know, like Splinter Cell is also another game that actually people loved the franchise, but never actually see a revive it from it. You know?
They were kind of the genre, but somewhere
Yeah,
between the 400th Assassin's Creed,
If we continue, one of us will die.
bro.
something went weird. In 2024,
Yeah, I would
Ubisoft
agree
was
on
supposed
that.
to be bouncing back after a few rough years plagued by internal scandals, mass layoffs, game
Yeah,
delays,
holy
and
crap.
a creative identity crisis that would make Square Enix blush. The narrative shifted. Assassin's
Shit.
Creed Shadows was finally happening. A long-awaited
That game still sucks, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Gameplay wise, it has pretty good potential for a short period of time, but a long run still sucks. it still actually horribly sucks in my opinion because you playing the game so bad. Tell me something. The fact that you really have to actually tell me I'm not a crazy person. You bought the game. The game is called Assassin's Creed. But then you have to actually go around, level up your character, go around map to map, so that you can actually progress the story mode. You have to level up yourself just so for you to actually progress the story mode, and that kind of ruins the momentum. Mushroom shiitake? What the hell is shiitake? What? Where is the meme from that actually?
Feudal Japan Assassin's Creed game promising dual protagonists, a stealth action balance, and a lot
There
of
was
hype.
no need
Yet
for it.
Ubisoft
There was no need for it to have a dual protagonist. I feel like if they focus on Yakuza, yeah, if they focus the game on Yasuke would the game would not have a big problem, to be honest with you. But the movement it kind of sucks if you focus on Yasuke because like we will not have the nimble movement like Yaoi. This shitty dialogue in shadows. Really? Oh my god, fucking that's the dialogue. I don't remember that. Hi there, Blue. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna talk shit about Ubisoft, by the way. Welcome to the stream.
hyped this thing like it was going to be Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
But once the dust settled and the financial reports dropped, Ubisoft refused
Yeah.
to give a simple answer to a simple question: how many copies did it sell? What was the
It did not sell very well. That's what I can tell you. You wanna know what's funny? Is the fact that they never disclose how many copies were sold, but then people keep saying that like they sold 1 million copies, 2 million copies, 3 million copies on Twitter. We keep getting sold, babies. But you know the day there was a dialogue. I guess someone actually chose the wrong dialogue to speak the truth, but then they tell us that like they never disclosed how many copies are there actually being sold. So like that was a lie. That's a lie on Twitter, dude.
result?
On Assassin's
This
Creed
one.
Shadows, we don't disclose units sold.
Yeah, see? Exactly my point!
Growing suspicion that Ubisoft's big comeback might just be another illusion, a projection from a company desperately trying to convince everyone, including themselves, that everything is fine.
Bro.
Hi, folks, it's Falcon, and today on
Hi there,
Gameranx,
Falcon.
what the hell is going on with Ubisoft?
Nothing wrong with Ubisoft. It's just that Ubisoft just not want to actually accept for what it is, for what is going around with their actual company. You know, they don't respect. They don't respect with the games. They don't respect the creativity. They don't really want to actually go out of their bubbles. You know, to make creative inventions. They just want to sit in their own comfort zone. This is like what happens when a company actually follows their formula for way too long. This is what another thing that I really enjoy. I'm sorry for saying this again for many times, but I'm going to say it again. This is why From Software is still one of the better companies out there because they decided to actually explore their genres. Alright, Ubisoft developers did better with Clear Obscures. That is also another thing. Is that the Expedition 33 is such an immaculate game. Asmongold literally just finished the game of the year for him, and that is actually a turn-based action game for him. Literally. People I know who hates turn-based action game love Expedition 33, and guess what? Those are developers from Ubisoft. Literally. This is what I meant by Ubisoft don't want to get out from the comfort zone. It is insanely how it's just insane how they can actually just get away and thinking that they'll be fine. Like they can actually create a bubble from themselves to just keep making garbage to garbage. All right? And just ignoring all the criticism from from the players, literally.
Let's start off with the weirdest PR dodge of the year. So,
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shadows dropped, and Ubisoft promptly did this weird thing that they're not the only
It is
one.
what it is. As long as they keep making mid, they can make money, and that's how they survive. No risk. But guess what? That will not actually be substantial way of like keep making money, because one way or another, sooner or later, you will fail, you will drop. Say that to Ubisoft right now, where when like their stock market is like going plummeting down into the middle of Earth right now. Someone needs to burst that bubble. Yeah, and you know what? Ubisoft deserved to fail. Literally, there's now Tencent, which is a Chinese company, are going to buy Ubisoft. I'm not gonna be surprised. Yeah, eventually it will, kind of like it did with Bethesda. And guess what? Bethesda literally got bought by Microsoft. Literally. It's simple as that. Because Starfield was such a dog shit game that was supposed to be a revolutionary, but because of them not actually exploring their own bubble, like get out from their own bubble, they actually had to pay the price by going into agreement with Microsoft. Even Fallout 76 is also another game. It seems interesting, but it's still the same thing over and over again. They didn't really actually innovate anything at all. This is why when it comes to making game, you really think about the player base. Alright? Whether or not they're okay with it or are getting tired of it. This is also what happened with God of War. God of War franchise. God of War. Does anybody even remember what happened to God of War Ascension? God of War Ascension is the newest installment of the God of War games before God of War 2018. That game was not doing so good after the God of War 3 because that game was actually getting tired by the player base, you know? Players are already tired of the same thing over and over again. The sales were not actually plummeting as they used to be. This is where this is where this is where the God of War 2018 got revitalized because they actually decided to explore the gameplay and make a whole new game, literally. Story also gonna be the same as well. Make him a dad, make him a more interesting approach of like looking at him, but not really actually compromise that the fact that Kratos is still Kratos. It's just that he's just Kratos, but he's still but more on a dad feature, you know. But this is like not a this is not. Ubisoft deserved to fail,
To
and
do it
and
A lot of
we
these
should really
modern
continue watching
AAA
this.
developers just love screaming this word: engagement.
They might have dressed it up with pretty
Engagement.
words.
What the hell does that
It's not
mean
like
for
it
them?
should.
And according to Ubisoft,
It does engagement mean that you need to actually suck $80 from them so they can actually get a like, base game with no DLCs, and then suck another $50 out of them so that they can actually get a DLCs games, and then suck another $30 out of them so they can actually get cosmetic from you guys, which doesn't really actually do anything, but also kind of increase or to spoil the fun of the game by actually making the game pay to win, even though it's a single player game.
Shadows has the second
Just
highest
saying. Just saying.
engagement for an Assassin's Creed game. What does that mean, though? Pre-orders, likes, number of times someone clicked the trailer on YouTube, play hours? I mean, that's a weird thing to brag about when no one really knows what it is. When reporters had the audacity to ask how many copies it sold, Ubisoft got quieter than you would think an assassin would have to be on hard mode.
Ha!
You're not
Legendary
always
props, I should
completely
say
right
that.
about that, but it's whatever. And the collective internet noticed.
Let me put my camera down here.
Ubisoft themselves delivered a Jedi tier dodge. We don't
Jeez.
share specific sales figures.
Exactly, that's so
That is,
weird,
of course,
guys.
don't
That's
ask
so
questions,
weird.
Just buy the damn game in PR speak. Now this is
And they keep telling you we keep making good games, guys. There's no problem with this. There are so many controversial things going around with this game, and it keeps saying like it's okay to add water to the fire. It's alright, guys. Just keep pouring the water into the fire. Don't worry. The fire is just a fire. It doesn't do anything to our house.
concerning because Ubisoft is not in great shape. Their latest financial report showed revenue down, back catalog sales falling, and
Yeah.
even Just Dance tripping over its own shoelaces. If Shadows was really this
It's sad because like you also have a really good game called X Defiant, and people apparently love that game. And what essentially that game is actually just it's a Ubisoft version of making a Call of Duty multiplayer game, you know. And X Defiant apparently was actually a really solid game. Apparently, it's not the best, but it's a solid game where people actually do enjoy it. Unfortunately, that game has to get shut down. Yeah, I played it a lot. Yeah, and you can agree with me the fact that the game has potential, right? It was good, but they didn't update it fast enough because they focus on the things they really feel safe about. X Defiant is not a, X Defiant is supposed to be left to die, literally. They will never actually even want to actually put investment into that at all. The base of the game was good, nothing really changed. That's a bit sad, dude. It's a bit sad. It was such a good potential. And the only reason why I say it's a good potential is because I've watched Phase Jeff like the game actually, believe it or not. He was liking it.
savior they're pretending it is, most people would assume they'd be screaming the sales numbers
Yeah.
from the rooftops, and they are not.
Here's the thing. More sales numbers doesn't mean that the game is good or not. Technically, on the surface level, maybe yes, it could be potentially why it could potentially tell you that the game is actually got a really good player base. People will actually buy the game, but this is a company that was actually being like deep in the deep roots for player base for a very long time. So sometimes people would actually forgive them and just buy the game and then they just sell it so they can check out the game again because like there's so many players out there literally like have this literally teeny tiny ball of hope in them thinking that this game might be it. Finally, Ubisoft has turned the table. Apparently, they can actually make good single player games. But but sometimes people actually got proven wrong sometimes, and maybe sometimes some people like me give up. But people are out there are just willing to buy them and just see how is it, just say it.
Not. So either Shadows is printing money and Ubisoft is being shy for fun, which is, to be fair, what I would do if I were printing money. People don't need to know about my money. I'm also
True. He has a point. He has a point. They don't need to actually tell us the sales. If the game is doing good for them, congratulations to them. But if the game is doing bad, well, too bad.
not printing money, so maybe I would be bragging about it. I don't know.
Mhm.
But they're either doing that and they're being shy for fun, I guess, or they're redefining success. How very postmodern of them. So
I don't know about that. When people keep talking about shiitake mushroom, was such a bad dialogue. I, for God's sake.
right after this weird PR dance that feels, I don't know, like a bad sitcom almost.
Is this like it's from Ubisoft as well? What is this game? Is this Just Dance from Ubisoft?
PR
I've never
dance
seen
that
this.
feels, I don't know, like a bad sitcom almost. Right after that, they reintroduced Charlie Guillermo.
What? Who's this?
Guillermo. Anyways, our man Charlie left back in 2021 to pursue other opportunities. Other
Uh-huh.
opportunities being
Well,
able
guess what? Apparently, his way of doing with the opportunities was not really good. But then he said, like, nah. If I get more opportunities, I'm gonna still keep doing it, and I'm gonna actually double down on it.
Web3 gaming company called Unagi, which they appear
What?
to be a DeFi, which is decentralized finance blockchain company that is also a leading Web3 gaming studio. I don't want to
Oh,
research that any further. I don't know what's going to end up in
I don't think that's a good thing, is it?
all that personal information they sell to everyone.
Ecosystem token, the UNA token is a OFT using layer O, meaning it is a multi-chain by design.
Best
What?
case scenario, I get a bunch of crypto ads.
Oh god, all the NFTs and clubs are fully licensed. Whoa, oh god, they have NFTs in it? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but that is not a good sign.
Charlie's the son of the CEO
Uh-huh.
of Ubisoft. Anyway, before
Okay.
NFT Fantasy Sports or whatever the hell he was doing with Unagi, he was actually the co-head of the mobile studio at Ubisoft called Aint.
Oh.
Aint made a game called Tom Clancy's Elite Squad
Oh.
that depicted
I've never heard of this before.
a fictional terrorist group that used imagery that was very, very similar to the Black Lives Matter symbol. This
God. Oh God. That is. Oh God. What a good job, dude. What a good job. Your art department must be proud of his own work. That is. Damn. That is not very good. Oh God. Now we can see why the company is failing so hard in the stock market right now. Oh God. Oh that is very bad. That is very bad. Ooh.
led to public apologies and Charlie's departure from
Ooh.
the company. That he went from that to NFTs and decentralized
Oh,
finance, crypto
God.
stuff doesn't make anybody really think of this guy as like the most professional.
I literally just said it earlier. Just literally said like I just said that earlier that oh wow he probably found that big opportunities for him, pursuing them, and he fucked them up really bad. Oh dear God. And now he's doubling down on it with all the opportunities he can actually get. He's just a money sucking grabber, literally.
So,
That's what he is.
Charlie has returned to Ubisoft
Okay.
to co-lead a new transformation committee.
Ooh,
aimed at
that's not a good
revitalizing
word
the company, you know,
for
because
everyone else.
Things aren't going so well, and what better thing to do than to bring in fresh blood that used to work at the company and is also the CEO's son.
Oh yeah. You bring in the guy who needs to actually make a public apology for actually including Black Lives Matters logo and also NFTs. Yeah, that's just wow.
Yeah, I don't see that resulting in a whole lot of brand new ideas. Call me
Yep.
crazy. And as they are transforming, so too is their release dates. Now, while
Wait, what? Additionally, after a full review of our pipeline, we have decided to provide additional development time to some of our biggest production in order to create the best condition for success. As a consequence of FY 2026 2027 and FY 2027 2028, we'll see significant content coming from our largest brands. They're trying to foresee their own success. Ubisoft is entering a new chapter. I am confident in our ability to build a stronger, more resilient company for the benefit of our stakeholders. Well, how about you want to say that to your stock market? That we can now have a proper discussion right now.
you play Ubisoft games like maybe Far Cry or Ghost Recon or
God, Far Cry 6 was such a huge miss, bro. Far Cry 6 could have been good, but no. Ah, you just had to ruin it. Therefore, read the Lulu. That's the thing. That's the thing. They have faith so much in their own repetitive, uninnovative formula. They thought they can actually get away. Bruh. Nah, bruh. You have ruined multiple franchise. I would say you guys deserve what is going to happen next. Literally. I would love to be wrong. Go ahead, release a Splinter Cell remastered tomorrow. Go ahead. Maybe some people will actually like it. Maybe I won't. Because you know what? If they have done nothing to change with the game mechanic or what they are planning to do, or to actually explore the ideas, I will never actually even buy any of Ubisoft games at all. They really thought they cook. Yeah, they cooked something for sure. Trying to cook themselves into the fucking burned area. Holy shit. They try to cook themselves with a broken rice cooker.
whatever. Ubisoft is playing a game called Delay All the Things.
What?
Far Cry 7, Assassin's Creed Hex, and Ghost Recon. They're
Bro, get the hell out. We don't need another Far Cry 7 or Assassin's Creed hacks already, bro. Ugh.
all been pushed back to 2026 or later. The official reason is to create the best conditions for success, which, I mean,
It's
isn't
not wrong. Yeah.
While they've been pretty dodgy about telling us exactly how Assassin's Creed Shadows did,
Yeah.
it's pretty likely it did better than Assassin's Creed Mirage. And part of that is
Yeah.
definitely because rather than release it a year ago in whatever state...
Oh yeah, because they actually did delay it. Yeah, they did delay the game multiple times for Assassin's Creed Shadow because they know what they did in Assassin's Creed Mirage and they actually brought it back. You just copy pasta it on Shadows, and then they realized that oh shit, they can't do we cannot do this because apparently people just don't like it. Honestly, it's still not a good game regardless because there's a lot of game mechanic in game. It's just not really good. If they actually do something different with Assassin's Creed hacks, I will probably buy the game Just remove the leveling system, make a better story, make a better stealth game. Don't give me dog shit dual protagonists. No more controversial acts in terms of culture and anything. I don't really care anymore. No more cash grab. No more pre-orders. Pay to win stuff. No, 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 no. Put that shit out. No.
it was in, they released it after
Then you
another
have a
year
good
of
game.
work in that state, which is a lot of steps in the right
What the
direction
fuck?
for Assassin's Creed, whether
Yeah.
you think that it was all the steps that needed to be taken or not. I enjoyed it. Was it the best Assassin's Creed, and was it the best that they could ever do? I'll answer
No.
no to both of those, but I think the delay benefited the game, and I think that is
I think I would agree to that. They actually recognize something here. They recognize something, and I guess that is one way to actually look at it. The fact that they might actually make a comeback or actually trying to change left and right. But if I see another one, Far Cry 7, that's not being anything new, I am about to actually just, I'm about to shit my pants with fire, bro. They cook too hard and turn it into charcoal. But rather, I'm gonna use that for my own fire in their own house, bro.
certainly something they're thinking
Burn it
about here.
down with
Let's
all
break
the
it down.
creativity,
Far
bro.
Cry 7 was originally rumored for 2025. They're now eyeing a
I have not still seen any Far Cry 7 at all. So like, if they're willing to actually like, if they're planning to actually release Far Cry 7 with like next year, sure. But they gotta show something interesting because like I would love to have another Far Cry game that is actually really good, but like don't make it another Far Cry 6, dude. Far Cry 6 is just the same as Far Cry 3, bro, and they didn't do anything to make it better.
2026 launch at the earliest. The game's reportedly undergoing significant changes, including a shift to the Snowdrop engine and a new storyline involving a cult and a ticking clock mechanic. Assassin's Creed
Okay, very interesting. Also, hi, this spicy. Welcome to the stream.
Heck,
Very
was
interesting.
teased way
Okay.
back in 2022. This one's set.
Damn,
16th
that was 3 years
century
ago.
Witch trials in Central Europe. Not a lot of details, but it's unlikely to see the light of day before 2027. Then
Yeah.
there's Ghost Recon.
What?
After the lukewarm reception of Breakpoint,
We have
Ubisoft is
another
taking
Ghost
its
Recon game?
time with this one for obvious reasons. We don't really have any details on this one, but the delay suggests a pretty significant overhaul is in the works. Like
After seeing this, Ubisoft has so many opportunities for them to actually grow, man. They just don't do anything to make it better, dude.
I said, Ubisoft is banking on the idea these delays are going to lead to better quality games, and while that's a noble goal, it is a risky move in an industry where long development cycles can lead to increased costs and waning player interest.
Yeah, and right now Tencent is actually gonna buy the company right now. So like, I don't know. But if I want to know, have you eaten already or not?
And, well, nothing says that better than the next three words. Sands of Time.
What?
Remember when Ubisoft announced the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake back
Oh,
in
shit.
2020? It was going to be
I
a
forgot about
nostalgia
that.
trip down memory lane, slated for release in January 2021. It is May as of this recording.
Has it been that long already? Oh, has it been that long already when they actually wanted to make a remake out of this? Oh god. 4 years I've been waiting for a new Prince of Persia game. I enjoy all of the Prince of Persia game on the mobile. I've never played any of the PC. I like it. I kind of enjoy the aesthetic of it. Fucking hell. Go for something less carb. Yeah, well, last thing I ate was the set meal. That one is like literally at lunch, so it's not fair to say that. But yeah, go for like less carb if you can. Go for bread, toast, eggs, something like that is also as well good as well for French fries. Go ahead for that.
In 2025, this game has been delayed many times. It's switched development studios and it has undergone significant overhauls. Honestly, it's like Ubisoft is thinking that they're using the dagger of time and rewinding, except for they're not, because that's not how time works, at least in real life. Wouldn't it be funny if they added like a storyline
What
where
the
you
fuck is
use the
Jake Gyllenhaal
dagger of
there?
time
What
to
the hell?
develop a video game? We can take as long as we want.
Oh,
Anyway,
God.
Initially, it was handled by Ubisoft Poon in Mumbai, and it faced criticism for visuals and overall quality. So they handed the reins over to Ubisoft Montreal in 2022, the studio behind the original 2003 classic. It was seen as a positive step.
That was a good step,
Probably
okay.
was. We don't know because we really haven't heard anything. But Ubisoft.
It could be good because if there is a people, the original people over there who actually know how to make the game, who made the classics, then there could be a hope.
has confirmed
Maybe I'll just drink water instead. Maybe just try to drink something sweet. Sweet is something sugary that also can kind of give you also like energy or carbs as well.
the remake is scheduled for release by March 31st, 2026,
What the
aligning with the end of fiscal year 2025 to 2026. This does provide a more concrete timeline, but I mean, it's their property. They don't have to tell the truth about when it's going to come out, and
Yeah,
even
true.
if they are, they don't have to stick to it. If they think they should delay it more, they could. It's part of the beauty of freedom, as well as a test of patience for those of us who like freedom but don't like.
I will feel sleepy when something sweet hits my tongue. Aren't you gonna sleep early? Oi, aren't you gonna sleep early?
I mean, this is a timeless classic, and what I mean by that is that there is no amount of time that you could have estimated development to take and be correct about. Well, it's also like a standard time list. I mean, Sands of Time is killer, and whenever it does come out, it's gonna be great. But man,
I don't remember playing that game. No, actually, I never played the PC games of Prince of Persia, but I played the mobile version. They were really good, and honestly, seeing the games on PC really makes me jealous of it.
it's not exactly professional the way they handle this stuff, is it?
Oh,
Well, people
you hope there's a banana? Go ahead.
are taking notice that, I mean, that's a sort of a broader trend than just Ubisoft itself. There is a
Oh,
problem
God.
that many are calling deprofessionalization in the AAA game.
I never heard of
industry. I mean, it's the
Well, actually, technically, we have Ubisoft and also EA, and also a lot more stuff going around.
elephant in the Ubisoft boardroom.
What the
but
fuck is
you
that?
can see it elsewhere too. It's not just a buzzword, it's kind of this unsettling reality that's turning game development from a job, nay, a profession, into a gig economy free-for-all. At events like PAX East
I think that's one way to actually look at it.
2025.
Let me
the
watch
shift
more of
was
this.
absolutely palpable. The
Yeah.
show floor was once dominated by major publishers and felt like a ghost town, to be frank. Attendees noticed the absence of significant exhibitors and a lack of engaging content. And honestly, a lot of people call it one of the saddest conventions they can remember.
Really?
And everyone still remembers DashCon. We haven't forgot DashCon.
What about the DashCon?
Doesn't mean PAX East 2025 was chipper, but it's not really about an event.
Wait,
per
what? Is it really that bad? Web plates?
say. The event is kind of the forward-facing evidence of the thing that's happening. Ubisoft, for instance, has laid off over 3,000 employees
Oh shit! They're going for a killing spree. Holy crap!
between September 2023 and December 2024.
Damn!
They've replaced these stable long-term employment opportunities with short-term contracts and freelance gigs. This is, of course, not even exclusive to gaming. If you wonder what the hell ever happened to unions, benefits, and stability, the words that you can easily answer this with are gig work. Gig work allows employers to, well, not have employees, more or less. They have people that act like
So they can actually like pay less or pay more. What the hell?
employees, but legally speaking, they're sole proprietors of small
He looks like
businesses
John.
that are being contracted out.
He
for
looks
work.
like John
And
Bertal.
big companies that do
the
business
hell?
with small businesses don't usually give a shit about the small businesses.
Yeah.
They're doing it because it's a matter of necessity. And the second they can find somebody who can do it cheaper, they do. This creates a race to the bottom that is draining the talent from the video game industry. Not just the video game industry, but there's no reason to talk about other
Damn. what he says is actually pretty kind of true as well. Because like, why would they actually invest something that is actually a small business like that's like expedition to the tree? You know, why not just go for the big games or and suck the money franchise and make it as a quick cash grab? You know, like like, just make an open world game that is not related to Assassin's Creed, just but put Assassin's Creed at the name because that's like you can see there's like a huge number of it, so they took opportunity of it, and that's crazy to think about it because that's what most of the big franchise game nowadays are like actually. I think Call of Duty is one to take it as an example. That game is like $80 nowadays, but with a 4 hour campaign and with a not really good multiplayer. Multiplayer aspect was really good, but still, that's not the main reason why I play of Call of Duty game. Because I wanted to play. The reason why I play Call of Duty games, of course, as multiplayer, but I want to enjoy a good story, dude.
Industries within the context of this video, of course. Junior developers in particular are finding it extremely difficult to secure positions, which is
Yeah.
leading to a lack of not only fresh perspectives and innovation, but retained talent and expertise being something.
Oh god, not
that a studio
Redfall! Holy
develops
crap!
over
I remember
time.
this game.
Arcane Austin, before it was
Oh
closed, had
god,
almost 70% of its workforce just leave because they were
they were really
tired of working on Redfall, which was
because they know the game was actually supposed. It's not a game they want to make. It's not a game they actually want to actually revitalize or actually innovate the idea. But they were forced literally because investors saw this studio make Dishonored and seeing how Dishonored was actually such a good game and Prey as well, and they decided like, you know what, let's ask them to actually make a live service game because that way they can actually make more money. That's what I did. They've got forced, and this is also another game that with Rocksteady as well. Does anybody remember Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Another studio that was actually being killed by live service. This game also got killed by live service because they want to get more money because the investor actually kind of forced them to actually make the game they don't want to make. Which is sad.
Redfall.
It's
It
sad,
wasn't
bro.
an immersive sim, what that developer was known for. It was a crappy live service game that nobody wanted to work on.
Yeah.
And when you're not attracting and retaining talent, hell, when you're just making it impossible for talent to get anywhere, even just the simple
I just think that like probably the reason why they don't want to actually they just want to actually like left the company so they can actually make the game worse so that they can just say like F you to the investors or something. I don't know. That's why I got a
in
feeling.
the door, it's hard to imagine that over time games will get better because if every year you have a training season to onboard all of the new people, replacing the people that got burnt out or left for greener pastures, say a better offer somewhere else, or, a job, not even a video game job, just a job. Like the sad thing with a lot of these developers is they're leaving games. This is all hitting Ubisoft hard. I mean, it's hitting everybody hard, but Ubisoft laid off over 3,000 employees since September 2023. That
Yep.
is an obscene number of employees.
Way too
And
big of a
honestly,
number, to
the
be honest
proof
with you.
is in the pudding with all these development resets. Even if you have a game
Because like they keep delaying it. They keep delaying it. The problems. They ran away from the problems so many times to the point that they have to actually pay the double amount of what they need to actually sacrifice in order to make a good workflow. It's just really bad. I can't think of a great analogy right now, but like it's just not really healthy for them to actually keep doing this. It's because like they keep doing. We're like, oh, we make one good game. Let's try to make a similar game and see if it's good or not. Oh, actually, that's not good. How about we make another one that's actually really similar to that, but hoping that the player base actually like this one because we have a different style, right? But then you realize that like, oh no, it's too late to turn back now because you realize that nobody is actually wanting this game because it's the same game. Now, if they want to go back, they have to actually try to actually like burn out all the resources they have actually burned or what they have left because the resources that have left that is actually being burned down from the second game and use it from to the third game. It's I don't know if that makes sense at this point, but I'm just saying that like they burn out all the resources trying to make it seem like all the games they had is good, but in reality it's not. So they waste all of their own resources on something useless. They are not doing a good job actually managing or actually analyzing what they need to actually use for, or trying to find the problem and try to solve it at the right time.
Game that's going well, if you lose important members of the
Oh
staff
wow, look at that. He
mid-development,
can't
you
get to the point of Wayne
essentially
actually
have to
blues at
reboot
him.
development, even if technically you're just continuing
They'll be
development.
desperate for releases. It's not because of them being desperate of releases. It's the fact that they just don't know they just don't have the idea of like trying to make a what's the word for it? It's not because of them trying to be desperate, but you can argue the fact that they might be the reason why they're actually being desperate for making releases is because their investors put a lot of money into the game. So like into the game they are actually making, that kind of creates a lot of pressure as well because they want to actually get the money back. So like what's not a better move for them to make money just making the same game they actually think the formula has been already exceeded. Just make the same thing and copy paste it in a short period of time. You'll be able to go bing boom bam. You got money printed already, right? Well, sometimes those tricks don't stand very well. They don't stay up very, very long time. You know what I'm trying to say? You get me?
Development, because you have to find a team of people and have them figure out what the hell's going on with the game. A
Exactly.
lot of the time, it's better just to start from scratch, because sometimes when certain members
Yeah.
leave, you have the extra problem that they're kind of the cipher that can interpret the code and explain it to new people.
I mean, if they have been hiring new people, they may have the skills that one. That's the thing. That's the hard part of like hiring new people. You don't know if they actually have the skills or not, because if you're hiring new people, you're also actually you're literally taking more ideas and more conflicted with the ideas that you want to actually put up with. Because here's the thing, the new people come in means that you actually require to put money for everyone else, because like you're working in a gaming studio, you're trying to make money as well and you have to pay for them. But at the same time you also have to actually satisfy your investors as well, because they put money into you. So like you have to put, as a gaming developer who is actually the CEO of the middle ground of everything, you have to satisfy your own game developers, and also you have to satisfy your own investors, and and in addition you adding in more new skills coming in, and you really have to deal with so many new ideas, or actually not creating with new ideas. It feels like they add more people to add more problems. Exactly, that could be it. That could be also another reason. That's why like they keep doing this same thing over and over again, where like they don't need to add on a new people with new ideas. They treat workers like office workers. Like ah shit. I feel the hunger. Oh god. Here's the thing. We're not talking about you. I'll be hungry. Hold on. Hold that thought. You don't need to change right now. So like my point is that Ubisoft, when they add new people, they don't actually listen to the people hearing very well, who actually work with them, because they want to actually make money and satisfy the investors. They actually treat their game developers in the company as just normal workers, not in more of a creative workers. Not creative workers, just normal workers. Use them as like you for use them for their own benefits of the higher ups. That's what I mean about more releases. Is that what you meant by your more releases? Um, I guess yeah. Well, yeah, you have a point, but you didn't specify like what was the factor? Profit driven rather than creative driven. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That is more perfect way of saying it actually. Sorry, I was vague about with it. No, it's all good. I was also not really that smart as well. I actually just thought about this right now.
That person's gone, well, good luck. I cannot imagine how many times that happened with Skull and Bones.
Oh god.
Can you believe I've gone this entire damn video
Without
mentioning
mentioning Skull and Bones, I was very impressed by Falcon Knights mentioning Skull and Bones multiple times, bro.
What's funny is I don't even need to. Like, I just have to say the words Skull and Bones. That's it. That's all. You all know what I mean.
Yep.
And if you don't, the Wikipedia is more about
me.
the development hell than the quadruple A game itself. So, what the hell is
It's so funny to me because also the reason why people hate Ubisoft because of Ubisoft keep actually false advertising themselves being like the good guys and they sort of like telling you they actually make good products, telling you like it's the best game ever that we ever made, it's the best shit that we ever made. This game is quadruple A tier game, and then like, bro, this is actually like 2A game
going on
at the
with
very least.
Ubisoft? Well, the same thing that's going on with a lot of these big game companies.
Oh, enlighten me.
Except they visibly suck. I mean, they keep bumbling and tripping over their own feet and spend a decade making a game that
Oh wow, thanks.
isn't good, Skull and Bones, or doesn't come out Beyond Good.
Oh
and Evil
my
2. I
God.
can't believe I haven't even said Beyond Good and Evil 2 yet. I mean,
That game is actually developed by Ubisoft. Damn, that game has been announced for like I don't know 8 years already, and the game is still not actually getting any news about it.
there's so many examples that just serve as shorthand for mismanagement and not knowing what you're doing, and they're attributable to Ubisoft. That's what the hell is going on with Ubisoft. Amidst a sea of change in an industry that has become bloated, isn't serving the people who work in it, and isn't serving its consumers, Ubisoft stands out as a problem. To be noticeable in that bunch is not a desirable position. And a lot of us do genuinely think that Assassin's Creed Shadows is a step in the right direction, and it probably
would agree
will
on
be a
that.
good thing long term. We don't know how much of a good thing, and that feels really weird. These
They need to make another game that can actually change entire thing what they have to make this whole entire time. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a good step up, but it's just not enough. If they want to convince the player back to into their own buying their own games, they really need to actually change entire formula. All right, just no more slapping Assassin's Creed into an open world game. Make a proper good Assassin's Creed game. Just make a really good stealth game like you always known for the very best, because I've heard the stealth games in the stealth session for Assassin's Creed Shadows are really good, and people are not complaining about it. Apparently, it's just that it was held back with a lot of few in-game mechanic. All right, like the leveling up system is also really dumb. Like with the some of the armor system, if I'm not mistaken, auto kill system that was actually not being properly used. It was kind of annoying, and it was just really bad all around. Just gotta change that shit, bro.
These delays, also probably the right moves for those games, but we also have to keep in mind these guys are not in the best of condition.
Yeah.
I think the bigger question, and maybe one that we'll try to answer another day, is what the hell is going to happen with Ubisoft? What do you think? Leave us
They're probably gonna get bought up by a bigger company. Without no doubt. I can see that happening in the future. Probably this year or probably next year. But I wouldn't be surprised if that did actually get bought up by another company as soon as possible. Also, let me actually put this one down. Sorry.
a comment, let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now
The stock market for
to
this
do
game
so.
is
We
for this
upload brand new
gaming company
videos
is
every
actually
day
really
of the
bad.
week. Best way to see them first is a
Yeah, really good video. Honestly, it's been a while. I've actually watched something like gaming discussion with Gameranx for a while. I really do think Ubisoft really need to actually need like bigger change with their games, bro. They really need to like if in order for them to actually do something, they gotta if they don't want to actually make a game that's Assassin's Creed game, just do an entirely new IP. You don't need to do that. You don't need Assassin's Creed to actually carry you. You literally have a fan base that can actually just rely on you, saying that, hey, this company is something that I can actually buy. I know someone who still likes Assassin's Creed to this very day, and it would be suck to see my friend to actually just be very sad to see this company being jeopardized with what they have done. You know, I don't want that because like I know Ubisoft has a really really amazing team to make a really good game. It's just that like guys, you really gotta stop making copy paste games, bro. You really gotta do something. Don't stop focus on engagement. Focus on creativity. Stop engagement. Stop that shit. Stop trying to actually focus on the grabbing the money. Get the creativity done for your own game first. If you create something in creativity, there is an idea of it. Explore the idea. Then only engagement come next. Not engagement first. Miss Splinter Cell, one of the OG stealth game back in the days. I remember people were loving Splinter Cell. I remember there was a time where like people were parading in Twitter, they were talking about Splinter Cells left and right. When there was a Splinter Cell character in Rainbow Six, I lost it. I fucking lost it. Why Rainbow Six? Why not just use that character and make a new game? Make a new story for him. Like I don't. It's just sad, dude. But yeah, um, honestly, really bad. Really, really bad. I'm hoping for the very best for Ubisoft, man. I'm hoping for the very best.